We have no idea what is going on, folks.
But apparently we're live.
Apparently, we're live. So Bianca's manning the chat. I'll try and stabilize the back of it. There we go. Back of the laptop. And we're joined today by Phantom Hand. Do you want to say hello, Phantom Hand? It's our nephew, Mr. Angus.
Hello.
Hello. Don't know if he's coming in through the microphone. So we've yeah, the microphone settings on the Yeti we've got set to something that I think is only picking us up. So give us a shout out in the comments if you're here. And this camera is going a little bit blurry. I'm trying out the new laptop today, so we'll just see how that goes.
Is this a laptop camera or the
This
other
is the laptop camera.
It's not bad.
So we thought we'd try something different. There we go. If I put that there, I can see the chat too. G'day, Tennessee. Hi, Timmy C. And Grotty Gold Prospecting. How's it going?
And Mennonites beat everyone.
And Mennonite. Oh, hey, Moonanites.
Mennonites.
Moonanites. Mennonite is a religious community.
Group.
Yes. Yes. Antonio, how's it going? G'day, Eric. From Indianapolis. Plumber from Michigan. Soul Soost, have a lovely day. Wasn't expecting this. Yes, well, we was discussing this with Angus this morning. Angus was saying I'm getting no notifications on YouTube. I posted this. When did I post it? When you logged on? It was Wednesday, wasn't it? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. I'll put the notification up in the community page on our channel. And by rights, YouTube should be sharing directly from there. But for whatever reason, they're not sharing my notifications out. I've actually had Michael, one of our supporters, g'day Michael, if you end up watching this, he said that he never gets notifications through YouTube membership for my membership hangouts. So that's sort of defeats the purpose of YouTube helping us to create a community. But anyway, g'day Echo.
It only came up when you search for it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So it only comes up when you search for it. So Western Australia, g'day Leslie. Yeah, so I thought we might just wait around a bit until we get a few more people on before we start yapping on about what we're doing. Waffle. So I've just got to move this so I can actually see. Sorry, because I'm using Zoom, and so I have to move it so I can see what's going on in the background. But yeah, a couple of people asked us questions. Grotty Gold, it looks a lot warmer and very cold in the Riverina. Yeah, Riverina is down below us. We're in Queensland, sunny Queensland, subtropics. And today, what?
It's cool.
It's cool, but I'd say sitting in the sun here, it's easy.
That's lovely.
It's easy 24, 25, which I know off the top of my head in Fahrenheit is
You're a master at that. I have no clue.
Shush. 24 degrees, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty good for winter, high winter. Hey, Taris. I don't think, Taris has popped up before. Yeah.
Eric didn't get any notifications either.
Yeah. Only received notification about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I know. It's a real pain in the butt. So I don't know what the purpose of YouTube is having this notification system if they're not going to actually roll it out and use it. So yeah.
Might have a look at some other options.
Oh no, there's no majority of the world. YouTube is the second largest search engine and the biggest place for videos. There is no other place.
Oh no, I mean for notifications.
Notifications. Yeah. Oh, the email. Oh yeah. If people join our email over at Rob's, is it Rob's?
Don't know.
robsaquaponic.info. I have that's where our membership community is, but there's also a free option where you get email notifications when I post things. So I'm not vain.
You're pretty.
Yeah, so if you sign up to the free membership option over there, I'll make a point of doing email notifications from there for all the live streams. Or you can join up, support the channel through a membership option, but it's robsaquaponic.info. So is that my coffee or yours? That's mine. Cool. Yeah, so at least an email notification. Get to some questions. Actually, Indigo Rider asked me a question straight up about he's one of our supporters, so I'll get to him first. Where is my screen? What have I got on my screen before I start sharing my screen?
Is there anything inappropriate?
No, not inappropriate, but just there's certain things I don't really want to share with people. Private things like how bad I am at editing and things like that. There we go. Indigo Rider asked about the fox skull that Bianca was saving. So, and for whatever reason, oh, here we go. That's why. Share the screen, bring up the folder. We got a fox a while back, and we had it in a bone cage down the back. Indigo Rider wondered how that turned out. So, what stage are we at, Bianca?
It's clean. Sorry, I'm just looking at.
You're looking at the wrong one.
It's all the bones are clean, so there's no flesh left on them, but they still need boiling, and there could be stuff in the teeth which you'll have to clean out.
Yeah, so I think the teeth has to come out, and then there's bits and pieces behind there.
You clean that out, you put them all back in, glue them in, and then spray them with a sealant so that any smell in the bone doesn't stay.
Yeah, so that's where we're up to in that. It's a hobby, something different. We figured we would like a collection of something from everything that is feral on the property. So yeah,
it's an interesting talking piece.
It is.
It either will terrify people or interest people.
Yeah. So yes. Will you be incorporating, Antonio? Will you be incorporating any more 3D printing in your aquaponic system in the future? I would like to have a crack at it. 4D printing. 4D. I just got that. 4D printing. 3D printing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I actually have a bell siphon from Hucho that he gifted me ages ago. And if you buy our aquaponics guide, there's a link to Hucho's plan in that. That's the Backyard Aquaponic Beginner's Guide for 3D printing of a bell siphon. There are some parts people have suggested that I 3D print, like screens for the bottom of the solids lifting outlet in the fish tank itself. So that's something we might be looking at as well, because you can buy bits and pieces from the hardware store off the shelf and then adapt them to fit, but it doesn't, naturally work. So it's one of those things. There is a really big lag, or is that? I don't know.
No, there is. I think it's more your computer.
More
is
my
lagging.
computer. Well,
I've got a 6-second lag.
He's got a 6-second lag. Yeah. So there are some unique 3D printing things we could be doing. What are you doing? Charging your phone. That's all right. Then I thought he was going to share screen something. That'd be scary. Teenage boy's phone. Yeah. So the drain from the solids lifting outlet, the bell siphon. And I have seen people 3D print Venturis and things like that, but to get inside to clean the holes from all the tags and bits and pieces inside, making sure they're smooth for the airflow, I think that might be a bit too much. So I might just keep it simple, learn how to do it first, and then we'll see how we go. Next one, Bianca, is there any there I haven't seen? Eric, I just bought a house and I want to put in a pond that feeds my garden.
What I was looking for.
Okay. So are you looking at growing hydroponically? Aquaponically, or just like a hydroponic, or are you looking at like using the fish waste in the pond water to feed, say, like wicking beds, a soil-based system? There's so many different ways you can go about it, Eric. That's one of the reasons we got this property and some of the plans we have, which we'll talk about in another video, or we might talk about quickly today. You can use fish waste rich water in so many different ways. The soil wicking beds is the way I'd really like to go, because then you've got the best of both worlds. You've got the nutrient dense water, plus you've also got the nutrients compost rich soil. So you've got all the microbiology in the soil that makes elements and available for the plants. Throw a bit of fungi in there if the plants, not all plants benefit from fungi inoculation, mycorrhiza inoculation, but yeah. something we're looking at doing. But if it's just straight aquaponics, you got to be careful. A lot of people will build a pond. They'll have a dozen or so fish in it, and then have all these massive gardens. And your fish waste ratio to water makes the nutrients so dilute, you actually don't get a really good growth out of your plants. So yeah, that's just something to consider. Generally speaking, I'd probably, unless you've got a fairly small pond with a lot of ornamentals in there, I'd probably go straight for an aquaponic system. I do know there are people who do run really. There's a chap here in Australia. He runs a pond, but he also runs loads of trout in a very deep pond. So it's something. There's a little bit of design. Little bit of design needs to go into the fish tank and the holding capacity and the biofiltration. So hope that hasn't confused you anymore. You doing questions?
Yep. Leslie has asked, what's been the biggest challenge for you guys over the last 12 months? Buying a farm?
Buying a farm. We're just speaking about that with Angus today. Angus was running through all the plans we've spoken about in the past and things we wanted in the future, and they all have the same stumbling block. It's all funds, money.
Yeah.
We thought we'd be happy just with the tractor to begin with, and then just things went. We've talked about it before. Jack getting bitten by the snake and electricity in the house, and they just chewed into the funds we had for a tractor, and then the water tank cracking. That's just another an extra few $1,000. So we're sort of.
I think though, with all of that though, it's not really negative. We're not really
we're not
down about it. It's annoying. And I think the biggest challenge for us is not getting to do what we want to do
straight away.
Get out there and start pulling all the fencing out and start restructuring the paddocks and clearing the land and start fixing the soil. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is just the frustration of not being able to yet.
Yeah, it's we were talking about the gardens. I don't know, they're a little bit off camera. We got some hoop houses, which I'll show you in a little while. Sorry, not hoop houses. We got some trampoline frames. Trampoline frames. My father is a very, very good collector. I actually had to go down and sign some paperwork for. He's been popped in a nursing home. So I'm helping clean out the back of Mum's place with my sister at the moment. And he curbside clean away, great tradition in Australia. You drive around the suburb with the trailer on the back of the car and pick up everyone else's unwanted goods. Working computers have been found, game systems, alt TVs, all sorts of things. People don't want to have to pay to dump. But Dad collected a series of trampoline frames, the round ones. And I went down there and picked them up. Actually, we'll share the screen and show you what I got so far. This is how we're basically trying to save some funds. Where are we? Here we go. We've got enough. Angus and I went down today, and we've got enough frames. There's the hoop house that we moved the other day. I don't know if you guys have seen that. No, we hadn't. No, we haven't shown that yet. Teaser. Spoilers. We're getting ready to start up a few garden beds, but they're the trampoline frames that Dad's collected. Unfortunately, as you can see, you get 2 hoops out of each one and none of them match. Now, we have a whole heap of other smaller hoops in the shed. If you can see my cursor with the barbed wire, I've got a whole heap of smaller frames in there, and we're not too sure whether they're going to be wide enough for a hoop house. Don't know if you can hear Jack crying in the background, but for some reason today he decided to chase a chicken. So he's inside while we can't pay attention to him. Very naughty. He wanted to play, not hunt down. So these trampoline hoops, I would really like at least 4 to create a nice big wide tunnel. You can see how much wider they are than the existing hoop house there. I'm thinking I could create a hybrid out of a couple of different ones, and so we've got enough for 4 hoops because they're all different diameters, and then we'll have a nice big extra wide one for the aquaponics, so I can possibly sit 2 of the long troughs and have a walking space up the middle and a small narrow walking space up the side. So we're going to play around with that, get some measurements and see how we go. Do you want to just let him out? We'll keep an eye on him. Angus can hunt him down.
You'd be nice.
Be nice to the chickens. Yes. So yeah, that's what I was doing down in Brisbane, other than signing Dad's paperwork, making it worth my while, picking them up. And yeah, hopefully in the near future we'll have a little bit more of a final build sort of video for that, because it would be good to have those up and going. We're looking at the moment at starting off hydroponically to begin with. I'll talk about this now, or
Yeah, go for it.
go for it. Yeah. We're looking at growing hydroponically to begin with. We'll just use some of the grow beds with the clay that I've got existing, and it's pretty nutrient rich. I didn't give it a good washout, so we'll probably do I do have some organic hydroponic nutrients I bought from Aqua Gardening before they shut up shop. So I've got some of that, but I'm also quite happy just to use the old Charlie Carp and the seaweed kelp powder we got.
We've had successes with that.
Yeah, the system's still growing down in Ipswich at the moment. The turmeric is still hanging on. The lemongrass is still hanging on, the stuff that gets the sun during the day. Green onions are still thriving. The oregano, I think Kira said there's a little bit of oregano over the back, but it's struggling because it's in the shade. So, I mean, and it's just running on the nutrients left in there. I think Kira's probably put 1 or maybe 2 doses of the Charlie Carp in there since we moved out in November last year. So there you go. So Sasquatch, hello. I might just go through and say good day to folks. Just go back through. Crafter, g'day Janice. How's it going? Can you watch that cord, because all the USB are plugged into that cord. Mr. Dave, g'day Dave. I've got an update for you later from Veneto Gardens, from hot California. Well, 74 degrees here, mate. We're sweltering. Yeah.
How hot is it in California at the moment?
Oh, America, it's all cold over there.
No, they're in summer.
Oh, it was England. England, they were complaining about 29 degrees heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have double glazing.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
ovens.
They got ovens.
Leslie. Oh, we just answered Leslie. I'm Rambo. How's it going? Big green hug. Dave, Janice.
I'd love to see
Antonio.
hope to
Echo.
see
Hey,
your
Echo.
work in Morocco in the future. That'd
What's-
be hot in Morocco.
Hot in Morocco, yeah. Yeah. G'day, Wayne. How's it going, Wayne? Trigrow. I'm just saying hi. Gurkha, how's it going, mate? From sunny, warm Canberra. Albanese says hi.
Sasquatch said he finally got hold of some IBCs. Got to get the truck to fix
105 degrees Fahrenheit.
so I can get them home, hoping to get my system up and running by this time next year. Sweet.
Sorry, I just was reading. Hook on some IBCs. Just got to get my truck. Sweet, mate. Not a problem. Are you actually, I'll ask you quickly. Are you looking at doing media beds or DWC? There's a lag, so I'll read it down later. Deep water culture or media based grow beds. We're up here with Leslie. So yeah, the biggest challenge so far has been the funds, because the will has been there to do things. It's just having the tractor for grading the area where we'd like to put the gardens. At the moment, we're thinking about doing just setting them up in situ, the greenhouses, and then backfilling later. Get some sort of whacker packer or tamper.
I think we're going to need to hire a bobcat or something.
Yeah, just
My
to
brother's
get it
got a
going.
bobcat, but
Yeah,
it's a big
it's a
ass
great-
asking him to drive 5 hours.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all. People have asked us to do the GoFundMe thing and all that. We're working on something on our website, so there's no funds taking out. We're not looking at raising thousands of dollars. It's just an option there for people who want to donate money. If you feel like doing it, you can join our membership over on robsaquaponic.info. There'll be a link down below to our membership sites, or here on YouTube. Or buy something from our store. All those links are down there. I won't spend today spruiking our wares and bits and pieces, but yeah, just funds.
Hang on. Okay.
Just looking for questions. Dead space. Don't have dead space, they say. Work in Morocco.
Regenerative Life Wayne.
Yep.
He's built a 5 I built 5 mobile solar powered aquaponics farms and love
Oh,
it.
sweet.
I'm using air pots set in hydrogen clay pebbles,
Clay,
using
yep.
dual zone method in these air pots, working great using bluegill fish in Houston.
Nice one.
Do you have videos at all up?
That'd be cool, mate. If
Yeah,
you got
it'd be good to
videos, just let
see.
us know and we can go back through the chat later on when this goes live to YouTube and have a gander.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What sort of size as well? Like when I was actually in bed the other night tossing and turning how we could set this section up, system up. And we've got with the auction I went to, I got a fountain, solar fountain kit, which I think would be good enough to flood and drain our 400 litre grow beds. So that's what's all up. That's around about 400 litre, 800, around about 200-ish gallon grow beds. But it's only got a little pump because it's hydro. And solar, it'd only be flooding and draining during the day. But that's what we're looking at.
What would your cycle be? Because it wouldn't be really powerful.
Oh, it'd still run on a bell siphon. You still get it to run on a bell siphon,
Okay.
or just on timer switch on and off. It's
I suppose it's not, the turnover's not needed as much if there's no fish.
Yeah, because we're not looking at transferring ammonia, just aerating the roots.
Aerating water. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, be interested to know what sort of volume fish tanks you're moving around, gallons or liters. That'd be really interesting. Oh, Tiger asked right underneath. Dave, yes, you could add some straight pipe. Yeah, well, that's what we're looking at doing. I'm thinking we'll do because, as I said, the Veneto Garden, has asked suggested we could do some uprights in the chat there on the hoops to make them taller. That was one thing I was talking about with Angus. If we do star pickets to begin with, just do star pickets, mount the hoops on there, and then if we change our mind with whatever substrate we're doing, they're not. Yeah, we could just whack a pack the ground underneath them, have them lifted off on like you're re-stumping a house, and then build in the actual bottoms later on, or maybe just go straight with the star pickets and just leave them, see how we go.
I think we're probably gonna have to test it with with the wallabies, because we need to keep them out.
Well, so they'll actually be covered with if you guys are familiar with our previous hoop houses, they'll be covered with an insect netting, because we do get Queensland fruit fly here. They're hitting the tomatoes in the pumpkin patch at the moment. So we need to guard against them. So we were going to just cover the whole lot with the that insect netting, and that'll keep the wallabies out. So
you could put a zip-up door on either end of it.
Yeah, I'm going to make a door frame. Angus just said we could do a zip-up door if you didn't catch him in the mic, but yeah, we'll do a proper door frame. There's enough screen doors laying around the place that we could do that if we don't use them for the chook palace. So
I'm just watching the lag catch up, because I've got captions on as well to see whether the mic's picking up Angus. No, it's not.
No.
Bugger.
So I got my chat keeps zipping up and down everywhere.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Oh, you'll tell me.
Gurkhan says hello from Canberra. Albanese says hi.
Yes, I saw that. Roll my eyes.
Yes. So Craftily Recycled said my kids had a trampoline, and when they got too big and it got too old, we recycled into various garden items, including using netting, etc. They're great recyclers.
Yeah.
And I'm also hoping that I can get a moon gate or something out.
Yeah, Bianca wants a nice little moon gate so we can pose for selfies for Instagram and become Insta famous in front of.
Oh yeah, because I could so see myself.
Oh yeah, she's such an Insta. Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Actually, the tarps themselves, they are good. I have seen people that cycle them and use them as like shades and covers for chook sheds and all sorts of stuff. Not waterproof, but just good shade and bird protection.
Well, also too, we're gonna have to learn how to manage frost as well after the other.
Oh yeah, we got frost on the pumpkins.
Yeah, I came out in the morning and the grass was white.
Yeah.
There was water crystals all over the deck, and there was ice in the chicken water. So
members, if you're a member and you haven't seen it, because again, YouTube doesn't push notifications to members when I post membership videos. But if you go over to the membership tab or over onto our website, members videos, there's a bit of a video just showing the frost on the railings and over on the pumpkins.
Yeah.
The pumpkins in the hoop house are hanging on because they're covered.
Yeah.
But
So
the
it's
ones
just-
in the pig paddock are pretty much well just
Yeah,
cactus now.
we're gonna have to watch any sort of open planting.
Yeah. How many pumpkins did we have? 100 or 98?
No.
98 pumpkins?
No, there was 92, and then I just picked 11 yesterday. So
Yeah, I'll see if I have photos back in the and we can share that
I've got
screen.
photos.
You've got photos.
Oh, my phone.
Oh, hang on. There we go. I can share that photo.
That was the first one. I think that was only 50 something.
Oh, that's only 50 pumpkins. Sorry, folks. It's only 50 pumpkins.
54, I think was the first one.
Okay, I think the I can do a bit of a teaser for the pumpkins. I did shoot a short for the pumpkins, but I haven't posted it yet. There we go. I can share the screen. Where's Zoom? Zoom. Share. That's what it looked like before I went down to Brisbane. I took I offloaded
all of six.
All of six. One to Cappy, the Nutcracker Man's son, Nigel's son. He was going to make up pumpkin soup with it. 2 to Allison and family. 2 to Kira, and 1 to my mum.
Yep.
So, and Angus is a chef. He's an apprentice chef. So he's going to be cooking us or Bianca up heaps of pumpkin soup. So come on, Jack, don't bump the table. So that's what we got. Oh, and Bianca picked another 11 yesterday.
Yeah.
So we got over 100 there now at the moment. So yeah.
Yeah. And I'm driving down to Brisbane tomorrow for work.
Yep.
So I'll load up half the boot with pumpkins and try and offload it onto people at work.
Yeah. So the more pumpkins will be going down, and then yeah, Kira's got a couple of friends that want pumpkins. Maya and Ahanu, they've had enough of pumpkin, I don't think.
Have they?
Yeah.
But they last so long on the bench.
They do last so long on the
That'll
bench.
be my excuse.
Yeah, Angus can take some
There
of
you
that
go.
when he goes home. Yeah.
I'll take them down and I'll drop them off at mum's.
Yeah, there you go. That's easy. That way you don't have to take them on the train. Yeah, too easy. Oh, where are we?
Okay. Leroy said saltwater aquaponics astride the ocean for fish, shrimp.
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
Mangroves, mineral-rich salt combined with
With
CO2
CO2,
is great for building materials like cement. Yeah, I've seen there's an aquaculture newsletter I'm a member of, and I've seen a few posts on saltwater aquaponics. I think they're doing, the one I saw was more seaweed though, based, but I have seen, yeah. Yeah, no, I have seen that there is a move to do saltwater aquaponics, and also there was that watched another, I think it's Spain. They're reclaiming wetlands, saltified, desertified plains that are just the water table's just stuffed and the salt's risen, and they're starting to reclaim it using salt tolerant species and things like that. It's really interesting. As many people know, I don't eat fish. I grow them for Bianca. I eat fish.
And
I just put in front of me.
And I prefer ocean fish.
She prefers ocean fish, but anyway. Yeah, that's something that's really interesting. The whole trying to raise in the ocean sustainably rather than the salmon farms up in Scotland and places like that in Canada that are just, and Tasmania, they're having real issues in Tasmania. I ordered in some larger venturies for a mob down in Tasmania, and they're having problems with the saltwater salmon. It's been on landline and a few other places. Just basically the amount of sediment, uneaten food and poo that's falling in one area. So they're trying to create aeration to help add oxygen down in the bottom to break down those elements rather than causing toxic blooms and killing native. Yeah, all very interesting. I don't know enough about it, seriously. So Mr. Eel, like the pineapple setup you had in that video the other day. Yes, that was a consultation I went to. The young couple had bought a farm and the old occupants had hydroponic pineapples. I didn't learn a lot about it because she didn't know a lot about it. They didn't talk to the old owners a lot, apparently. about what was going on there. But yeah, she's going to pull all them out, and Maddie was going to plant them out around the place. And yeah, they wanted to know if that system could be saved. It had a few weird adaptations on it. Basically, it was a case of the tanks could be reused, but the grow beds couldn't. The frames were rusted and they had kids, and yeah, just rusted frames with hundreds of kilograms worth of media in it. And look at that. YouTube have inserted an ad. Cheeky buggers. Yeah, so it's one of those cases where you're better off cutting your losses, saving the infrastructure you could and using them. But pineapples, we've had them in the aquaponics, they grow. I think
They're just such a long crop,
they are.
and everything else in the aquaponics was faster turnover.
Yeah,
So
it's a bit of a waste of space in that respect with the amount, and they're not nutrient heavy feeders. So if you're looking at trying to be that sustainable balance within the system, you're not pulling enough nutrients out, and you're ending up with a greater nitrate level in your system. Hucho, I'm sure Hucho has a video. I don't know whether it's just featured them in the background or whether Hucho has actually done a video about hydroponic pineapples. I know he's done the dragon fruits and the cactuses. But yeah, I'm not too sure. So Hucho's channel might be a good one to suss out. Go to my page. Oh yeah, Regenerative Life Lane. He has them on his page, so we'll be able to suss them out there. Thank you very much. You punk. Thanks, Dave.
Ucho does have a how to propagate hydroponic pineapples.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go. Do you want to put that in the chat?
You can.
You can. Dave. Young Angus is a keen fisherman. Young Angus wants to fish the dam. So we'll be fishing in the dams this week, and we'll do a video and we'll show you what we pull out of the dams. So Dave in the members hangouts has been at me to go fishing in the dams and see what's actually there. We also have a fish trap that Danny gave us as a farm warming present. Thank you, Danny, if you're watching this.
They've been really active on the dam this morning too.
There's yabbies in there.
Oh, we know there's yabbies. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've seen the yabbies in there. So yeah, it'll be
And
interesting
mussels.
to see. And mussels, yeah,
Big
freshwater
mussels.
mussels, which is one of the reasons we don't want to hit everything with weed killer. Single digits in Adelaide Hills, rain, hail, winds, love it. Yeah, no, we've got awful weather here
you can
today.
keep that.
Awful. Yes. Echo, I happened across 1990s, 80s VHS converted to digital recording and saved to use.
What are you reading?
Cool. Echo. There's a
Oh.
chook going off.
He's eyeing truck.
Jack. You leave those chooks alone.
So
Pumpkin seed,
Echo,
pumpkin seed.
Echo says in Jefferson County, Alabama, the JCDH, Department of Health, partners with 22 municipalities and covers watershedding along with stormwater management authorities. I don't know
Yeah,
about
we
Australian
don't
history, however.
Yeah, go keep an eye on it. Thanks.
Do know that our Independence Day and people being taken to Australia by Britain are interrelated.
Sorry, where are we? I'm lost.
Okay.
Okay. I'm way up.
I'd be
I'm way up.
interested to look at that.
I'm way
Yeah,
up.
you're all over the place.
No, my chat isn't catching up like yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Water of life is visible there, and something I hope our current children's generation and those generations to come and learn a side by side, neighbour by neighbour point of
Yep.
view for the sake of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Good on you.
Oh.
Hang on. I know that our Independence Day and people being taken to Australia and Britain. Yeah, we're apparently a colony of convicts. I know my family came in much later after that.
No, you have.
I
You
do
have
have
conflict.
conflict. We have much conflict now.
You have convicts. You had a woman who murdered her husband or something, wasn't
Did
it?
we?
I remember your sister doing the family
Okay.
tree. There was going back.
Yeah, I know
that.
Dad's side is all 1900s-ish. I know Pop came over he was the head of one of the heads of accountants for British Tobacco India for a while. And came slumming it in Australia when he decided that tobacco was bad way
Yeah.
back then.
We're not convicts, we're third generation Australians.
Yeah, you're just all mad Scots and Danes, bloody Vikings.
Yep.
Look,
Look out, we get angry.
she doesn't. She's a pussycat.
You're funny.
Fancy flat-tailed animals in the pond. Yeah, Dave. I don't know if you heard what I said before, Dave, because this chat just isn't working on my computer. Yes, we're going to find out this week. We're going to find out this week with Angus. Angus is a very keen fisherman. He fishes for his supper.
You're going to make it so hard for him. He's not going to want to come back here.
I know. I'm far. He can't do too much. He's actually up here on recuperating from a work injury, so he's allowed to walk and watch.
Yeah, that's it. He's not allowed.
I'm farming live fish foods, earthworms, soldier larvae, feed. Yep.
Feed shredded cardboard, food scraps, and rabbit manure, soldier flies.
Yep.
That's
the loop we want.
We need, because at the moment, we don't have a waste service here, so all our food scraps and everything gets collected, and then, as I did yesterday, you go and find a hole, dig a hole.
Yeah, we have an area where we think we want to grow trees eventually, or shrubs.
Yeah.
This camera's really bad. So we're just inoculating the ground with food scraps.
Well, yeah, anything for the soil at the moment, because it's
tissues, paper towel, anything that most people would throw.
Yeah.
Like the only reason we have rubbish to take down we take our hard plastic rubbish down to Ipswich for recycling, because there's no recycle services here. And I think
there's no waste service here.
Yeah, half garbage bags full of rubbish at a time. So it's just when
So
when we left, we bought a whole heap of silicon, because we knew there's no waste service here. Bought a whole heap of silicon freezer bags. Reusable stuff. Yeah.
But I want to do a compost.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Keep asking.
But worried about attracting monitor lizards and
that's one
dogs and all sorts of stuff. But maybe we could get away with a soldier fly farm again.
Yeah, because soldier fly in a bathtub style one with the ramps.
And the chickens loved them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, how is that going to fit into Fort Chookington?
I've got ideas. We've should we do, is there any other questions just quickly? Because I want to talk chooks.
Show cloth over chicken wire should be fine. Stop the wallabies getting it. Yeah.
Thanks, Janice.
I hate it when it does that.
Yeah, I know. Mine's not even flowing.
Are those pumpkins sweet? Oh yes, very much. Yes, pumpkin soup, pumpkin mung bean curry. I've done the scones already. Oh, sultana loaf. Actually, Eric says chickens love pumpkins. No, they don't. I've put scraps in there and they just look at me like I'm a moron and they walk away. Is it worth using my 300-gallon front yard pond to make a system?
It is.
Yep.
It is if you have enough. It's not showing up in my chat now. It is if you've got enough grow beds and enough fish in there. I mentioned earlier, if you didn't catch it, a lot of people with ponds will throw like half a dozen fish in there and then try and grow food from it. Pardon me, you're just not getting the amount of waste from a half a dozen fish. You need to stock it properly. So it's basically one fish you want to grow out to 1 pound for every 6.6 gallons of water. And then in turn, if you're growing with a media bed or rock, clay, whatever, another 6.6 gallons of media for the bacteria to inoculate and then process the waste from those fish. So it's one of those things. A lot of ponds, they may be really big, but they're really shallow and not suitable for fish, for table fish, in that the predators and whatever. It's really hard to say without knowing your climate. I don't know of anyone who's really lost fish out of ponds. But yeah, the amount of predator birds we've seen around here, it's something we're actually keeping in mind for both the chickens and the fish. Everything must be enclosed and covered. But yeah, it can be done. It just depends on your pond. I would go for a deeper pond rather than shallow. And you just need to match your biofiltration and the amount of fish in there. So yeah.
Rossi Gold Prospecting said mine was a convict and the first jeweler in Australia in 1803. Cool. Now Echoes.
Hi Joe. Joe from Mexico. How's it going, mate? Scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't read that.
Because you asked me to look for questions.
Yeah, no, Joe's Joe's been a subscriber for years. We've chatted for years in the comments. How's it going, mate? He's-
Oh, summer monsoons. And
Oh,
it's
really?
gotten quite cold.
Yeah, because Joe's Joe's in an elevated altitude from memory.
Mm. Chicken going off.
Yeah, Jack is chasing. Do you want to call him
Oh.
off, please?
Do you want to open up the pen for her?
Thank you. Sorry, we're
just
having
adjusting a new chicken.
which
Um,
we'll talk about in a tick.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe.
Hang
Hi,
on.
Joe.
Echo says, I know this is way off topic of aquaponics gardening and backyard farming, unless now and the future a review of aquaponic
No, you've already
gardens.
gone through that.
Gone through that one?
Yep.
Da-da.
I think we pretty much all caught up. I don't know. The live chat's doing something weird.
It
here.
is doing something weird.
It's like stuff is disappearing unless people are deleting stuff. So
So Echo says the experience you're all having there constructing your farm could interest any number of children at any age. And I can see the journey you all are on being wonderful, amazing education value. I hope so.
hope so. That's the plan. That's what we want. That's what Angus said. Weren't you going to have people here and teach them farming? But it's once we get it up and going and can afford the insurance. Yeah, definitely.
Well, also control the biosecurity. We can't
Yeah.
have people traipsing through the front paddocks
So we get
with the giant rat tail.
Yeah, it's like Tim and the boys. Tim is a very lovely chap who donated a whole heap of stuff he wasn't using from his aquaponics to us. And he's also a chippy and offered to come up and have a look at a few things and give us suggestions. I'd love to have him and the boys up camping, except we want to get the slasher here and knock down that rat tail grass before we have anyone on the property. It's just one of those things that it wouldn't be responsible to allow people to come through, seed heads, pick them up and then take them off, to other places. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because any government vehicle or any vehicle that drives through giant rat tail has to go through a washdown
Yeah.
bay. And
we don't go in the paddock. The only thing that goes in the paddock here is the ride-on lawnmower. We don't take the cars or the ute since it had it going over. It doesn't go through the paddock with the rat tail grass. So
Okay.
I think at the moment we'd be pretty much all right because all the seed has fallen and the heads are gone. But we're still there's no reason to go.
it's in the ground, it picks up and
I don't want to go paddock bashing in the
But
ute
it-
anyway.
But anyway, chickens.
Chickens, yes, chickens. We have another refugee. This one started its life in Gympie, and then moved down to Corona Downs in Brisbane, and then is now up here in Childers. That's Chook Chook. We all know and love Chook Chook, even Jack. This is what's her name? Eunice Howe, because we have Marianne. We have Ginger from Gilligan's Island. Now we have Mrs. Howe. So I think her name is Eunice.
Maybe I'll just call her Mrs. Howe.
Mrs.
'cause
Howe?
Eunice just sounds
Wrong? I think it was Eunice. Oh, no, correct us in the chat. It is Eunice
was.
Howe. Okay. So she's Marianne is definitely queen of the coop at the moment and
major bully.
major bully. Like Chook Chook's loving it because she's not the eye of the attention anymore. Jack, come. He's just run around the side
There you
there,
go.
standing. Here he is. So yeah. She's seen a fair bit of Queensland. She came up with Angus and I last night, and you can see the gate to the pen is shut. We've just got her in there by ourselves as the girls are going over wanting to lay their eggs. We're letting them in. She's out. Oh, she's on the grass now. Cool. She's lived in a pen in a backyard for a while, so we're just trying to get her by herself used to being in that pen, the day pen.
Chook Chook's laying right now.
Is she? Oh, Chook Chook's in and laying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and also, shield her from Marianne because she is she's a piece of
She
work.
just doesn't let up.
No.
She does not stop.
So yeah, that's so we now have 4 chickens. So we were going to get chickens from some local people. G'day if you're watching.
Don't really need them
we
right now.
don't really need them at the moment. Will has put us on to when Will, g'day Will, if you're watching. He's a local chap and he does meat birds. So we're going to look at doing meat birds. And I'll stop sharing that. In the goat paddock, sort of behind us that way, we're going to set up. Actually, I'll see if I can share. Again, I hope you guys don't get bored with me doing this stuff. Where are we? Growing your food video. layout PDN. No, we want. There we go.
Oh, Tim is online. He said, just need to let me know, bud. Sorry, that thing's in the way.
Oh yeah.
Got some more stuff for you when the time comes.
Oh, sweet. Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you. Oh, where are we? Zoom. Here we go. Zoom.
Oh, you're
They're all
doing
a pen.
spoilers.
They're all eating in the pen.
Oh, good.
I'm doing spoilers.
Close it back
So,
No, that's-
with some crafty bits of handy dandy artwork on paint.net,
I just realized you even gave them shadows.
I gave them shadows.
Oh, you are so professional like.
So that's what we have at the moment. So we have the greenhouse we pulled over from, I don't know if you guys can see my pointer. This little frame here was running parallel to the other greenhouse. Bianca and I pulled that down, cleaned it out. Microplastic haven. I got someone tried to roast me over microplastics and aquaponics the other day, telling everyone I should preach to the internet how bad they are. Seriously,
Find a way not to live with plastic.
find a way not to. Bianca works in not the plastic industry, but what happens to plastic after the fact, and the amount of plastic just out there in everyday life is astronomical. The little bit you get in your aquaponic system, if any, depending on how you grow in your system, would be so small compared with what you get in food from the supermarket. So yeah, don't have a go at me about aquaponics and microplastics, folks. Do some research. Yeah, but this is how we stand at the moment. The chook pen is there. The greenhouse we need to move. We have that small shed out the back. And we have the other point of interest is this other grey shed beside the chook pens. Now, we go to what our plan is. That little shed that was out the back is put on top of the existing shed or next to it. So we have an elongated garden shed. We have a door that comes out that faces the house and a door that comes out facing the back of the property, directly basically into the garden area, which you can see around the red dots. This little shed behind the long shed will be where the fish tanks are under. It won't be a shed. I just copied and pasted the shed for, it'll just basically be a lean-to that is open air, but enough to shelter birds and direct sun from the fish tanks underneath. These two hoop houses here, they'll actually probably being moved to the back of that garden area. And we're going to create a large, wider hoop house that will run from the end of the fish lean-to all the way down, hopefully towards the fence. And that's where we'll have our sand system and gravel system and a few different systems. Down here in the chook area, that will be where that other shed is moved to, that is next
in the
to
pig yard
in the pig yard, and we're going to section that off. And what we're going to do is hopefully get some.
What are you thinking?
Well, we were talking about we want to keep the meat birds separate from the egg layers, so we're going to have 4 yards there, and we're going to have the meat layers cycling through 4 of them. And probably the chickens having access to a single yard because
So
it's
you
big
mean
enough for
the meat
4
bird's
children.
going through 3,
Is that what did I say?
4.
4. Sorry, the meat bird's going through 3 yards. 3 yards, and then just a single yard for the egg laying chooks. Because I don't know if you folks are aware, but I have tried doing aquaponic greens for the chickens in the past, and we ended up just doing the sprouted grain for them in the aquaponics. They loved it back in Ipswich. And I also do living green feeders where I do a netted off caged areas that you basically grow wheat, barley, whatever greens you want to feed your chickens. And then as it grows up through the netted off area, the chickens just come and peck the top off and they just keep it mowed. We had great success with that down at Ipswich as well. So looking at doing living green feeders.
And they had their salad bar.
They had their salad bar, yeah. Hanging iceberg lettuce or just different leafy greens, just hanging them from the roof because we're going to need netting over the top of this area because of the eagles. We get massive vegetated. What?
Using the trick pen?
Jack, come on.
He's all good. He's curious more than anything. He's on the outside. Yeah, we get massive wedge-tailed eagles standing on the ground, easily over 4 foot in height. So yeah, we need to protect them. But anyway, yeah, hang stuff from the roof for them to peck out.
We had the cherry tomatoes that grew over there.
Oh, they love that. Yeah.
You go and shake the cage.
I think I got a video up on that. The whole outside of the cage was covered with cherry tomatoes, and they were just going for cherry tomatoes willy-nilly. But yeah, that's the rough idea. And these water tanks, actually, a bit more of a spoiler. The water tank closer to the smaller shed, the big one, it's dud now. It's got a crack in it. Want to turn it into a hut, rent it out to Angus to live in. The other one that's covered by the tree, and we're thinking about keeping that there and just having it feed in off the shed. That means this big aqueduct running from the house can be done away with. And down just above where the clothesline is, bottom right-hand corner of the house, we're going to put two 25,000 litre or roughly 5,000 gallon tanks there to feed off the house. So actually increase our water holding, and the concrete pad. We need to get the funds for the concrete pad first and the tanks. But that concrete pad that tank is sitting on, we'll use that for storage, for farm equipment, stuff we don't want sitting in the grass. Like we've got our little cattle cage up the back and some other bits and pieces behind the shed. Get that off the grass onto some concrete pad. So yeah. That's just a bit of an overview. We're looking at doing a video, the next video. We'll wait and see. I've had this bit of a videos haven't been performing too well in the algorithm, and I keep getting people saying because I'm not creating a story with my video. Apparently, you guys aren't interested unless I tell a story through a video. So I'm going to try and script a few videos and see if that helps in the algorithm.
Once upon a time in Childers.
Once upon a time in Childers. Well, see, Bianca's done. She's written a couple of scripts for movies, so she's good with the brain stuff.
Yeah, but you're not. You can't really do my special effects and stuff.
Oh, we get to special effects, exploding pumpkins. Angus is going to explode a pumpkin today. Whoa! He's going to get to use a 12 gauge responsibly. So
Under supervision.
Under supervision. So yeah, one that's rotten, by the way. We're not just killing poor innocent pumpkins that could be consumed. So yeah, so that's a bit of a spoiler on the chook sheds and what's coming. The area where we do have the garden set up at the moment, we're at the rainwater tanks there. We need to fix them up because they're sitting on cracker dust, and they had the overflow running down the side of the tank. So it's eroded. That's why the tanks are leaning, and all under that shed, the concrete there is eroded out as well, where it was splashing concrete where the shed was. So yeah, we've got to do something with that area there, but that's where we're starting at the moment. We're looking at we found some wire when we moved the hoop house, so we're going to try and wallaby proof that area because we would like to have some wicking beds set up for things like sweet potato that don't need protection from the elements. But I have been told the wallabies will go them. And when we say wallabies, like we're not talking about, oh, we have a wallaby jump through.
No, there's probably
anywhere up to 30 around the
yeah.
house at once.
And they'll come right up to the
back
area.
I've got photos of them at the bottom of the stairs. There's videos and photos of them. Oh, that might be on the
Jack sits in the house and growls outside window because the big one's coming right up to the house.
Yeah. And then as soon as you take him out for a pee and there's a wallaby out there, he won't go downstairs. Yeah. He's such a man. Yeah. But yeah.
But he can bully chickens.
He's chasing them.
Jack.
He's
Come. He's not actually hunting down the chickens. The chickens leave candy for him. Ugh. The chickens leave candy for him. So if he follows them, one might drop a candy pellet. So I'll read through this while Bianca's off.
Right.
I'll see if I can. Where are Bianca's? Oh, hang on. No, I think mine's caught up now.
I'm back.
Half German, half Aussie, typical blend. And our convict bit had first European triplets. Oh, first European triplets born in Australia. Well, there you go. That's Janice, carefully recycled. Timmy C, just to let you know. Yep, some more stuff. That's right. Thank you, Tim. Recent current events and offering a new way of life that adds to our community's neighborhood. Yep. Yeah, speaking to my brother yesterday. Hello, Darren, if you're watching. And he was saying that not everyone can have a piece of land like this. And I let the comment drop at the time and grow your own food. We were on 600 meters in Ipswich. And for those
600 meters,
600 square meters, 600 square meters in Ipswich. And we were growing enough vegetables for ourselves and others for about, when at the height of it, when I was really trying my hardest and just doing gardening, not doing YouTube and helping family and friends, we were growing enough food for ourselves. Like the only thing we weren't growing, and that was deliberate, was onions and potatoes. just because they were cheap enough. I mean, back then it was like 45 cents a kilo
And you
or
go
90
back-
cents a kilo for onions.
Go back through your old videos, you see we don't have the greatest success with potatoes.
No, we don't have the greatest success with potatoes. Yes. Thanks, Bianca. You didn't have to tell people that.
But
I was just telling them it was an economic decision.
if we grow enough of them,
I
we
can grow them
have
now.
we can have a lot of smaller potatoes.
Yeah, I grow them really good potatoes with the aquaponics. Awesome potatoes with the aquaponics. Go back through the videos. For fun. Wheat. Yeah, no, I've seen people, someone worked out. Yeah, well, you were telling me how much wheat you need for a loaf of bread. Wheat. Yeah, wheat wouldn't do wheat in aquaponics. I think it's a no-go.
What about in sand beds?
The sand beds.
Yeah.
That's shush, that's spoilers. I'm looking at growing fodder in the sand beds.
Well, we have enough sand.
Yeah, we have enough sand. We've actually got sand where we won't be taking from the creek. There's actually banks outside of the creek from floods of sand that we're going to harvest on our land, not government land.
Yeah, Pearly.
Billy, hi folks from now Oregon. First live catch. Been away from your channel for a while. I think I've been watching you for about 8-9 years. Thank you, Curly. Congrats on the move. Moved here 8 months ago from San Francisco Bay Area. Sweet. So farm area, Curly, or just a rural block or a farm? I know it's sort of the same thing. Pigeon pea around for chicken fodder. Our chooks wouldn't eat our original chickens. We grew pigeon pea and comfrey for them. Our originals wouldn't eat them. These guys possibly have never really been introduced to it that we know of, because they're all hand-me-down chickens, so they may have a crack.
Used to grow cashews. Oh, wallabies love the cashew fruit. I'd like to try the cashew fruit.
Cashews.
I reckon that'd be
You know they're poisonous. You know they're poisonous. You have to boil cashews first. That's why you can't grow them from seed.
well, I'm talking about eating the fruit.
No, plants are trying to kill you. Yeah, there are crays in the dam. Angus saw them when he helped us move months ago. You can spotlight them at night and see them. The only one we've only seen some small ones, and they're the blue ones. I forget what they are. Cherex. The ones that we had they're the Yabby. They're not destructor. That's the red claw, I think. Anyway, the little blue crays, we've got them for sure, but I'm sure there'd be other ones in there. Yeah. That was Luke. Candy. Yeah, chook candy. We've got 3 dozen eggs in the fridge at the moment. We bought 2 dozen eggs.
And I told
And then
Kira, I'm bringing
all of
you.
a sudden they started laying at once, the 3 of them.
I told Kira, I'm bringing you a dozen eggs, and she said, I don't need any. I just bought some.
Yeah.
So
Cashews, wallabies love cashews. Cool. Lawn fudge. Lawn fudge. I like that. Lawn fudge.
oh, it's so great.
G'day, Hot Rod.
People don't realize that it takes years and money to
Yes.
get Homestead off the ground, and it's not like TV. Like, yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
And it's amazing how many people just go, haven't you done anything yet?
I've had some long-time followers and financial supporters say basically they think I'm being lazy and doing nothing. There's only so much I can do. We found some wire I can recycle and do that. I've been pulling down fences. We've been pulling down bits and pieces and all the rest of it. There's only so much I can do. That's why I'm trying to improve the quality of YouTube while I've got the time, because we can't do other stuff, and doing consultations and other bits and pieces, because if I can earn money that way, I could even go out and get a job, mean less YouTube videos, but it means we could do more.
Doing more.
But it means the YouTube videos would suffer for a while. So that's something I'm actually contemplating doing, that, going out and getting a job. Even just part-time one, help pay the bills. So yeah.
Work on a farm down the road.
Work on a farm down the road. Yeah. Farm
You've
labour.
experienced stepping up somebody else's farm, so you can come back and go, I know how to do this perfectly. It's great.
Yeah, but because I don't just do YouTube and earn money through YouTube. I do the consultations. Thank you very much to the supporters, YouTube members, and other people. They cough up a little bit every month, a couple of hundred to be honest, between the two of them, and the shop selling the nutcrackers and the aquaponic gear and the uni seals. Yeah, it's we're paying the bills. We're just not getting that extra little bit to set aside for the tractors and stuff like that. So that's
the other thought was starting the markets.
Yeah, starting the markets, because there are a few
Get
markets.
a bit extra.
Yeah,
in that way.
I got to Nigel, well, the nutcrackers would be the biggest thing with the markets. And
Okay.
Nigel's just automating a few things and getting that production line to run smoother. And then once I know I've got X amount of crackers at all times, because I've got to drive down to Brisbane and pick them up and all that sort of stuff as well, because his drops them off at his sons and all that. But yeah, so once that's all sorted out and I've got a constant supply and he's worked out his new models, then I'll be doing markets and that. I love markets. I used to do markets. When I was Chandler's Music in Australia, I was doing markets with them. I like talking to one-on-one people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big public speaker, but I'll do it. But yeah, I used to do markets all the time and I really enjoy it. So did the wet pots when I was doing wet pots with Peter Wakeling. Used to do the markets with him all the time and the permaculture shows. That was cool. Lots of interesting folks at the permaculture shows. Got to meet Mr. Mollison.
Hammer's Hammered just pulled a bunch of cassava, easier to grow than potatoes and tastes better too.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of cassava personally. No, we did taro. It's what the in Inala, going down through Inala, the last farm they cut out.
Yeah.
Build units on. They used to do cassava and bananas intercropping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those islanders down there, they look Filipino. But yeah, there's not a really big huge fan of it. Someone I know actually did themselves an injury with cassava. I think it may have been the variety though, because one variety lacks more cyanide. I think it's cyanide than another. And they did themselves they got a bit crook out of that.
Curly's got 6 acres now, chickens.
Oh,
and
cool.
An old sow came with the property, was gardening and wicking in barrels. Oh, it's moving in from the yard, from the channel for the past 8-9 years.
Yep.
Cool.
Echo timetable for projects on the new farm. Well, we're trying to do the hydroponics, get the fruit and veg, or the veg sorted, because we've just been buying local markets and that and supporting the IGA, local farmers. There's a really good markets where we should be today, but we're doing hangout because Kira wanted pomegranates.
Yes.
The Shalom markets in
Bundy.
Bundy. They're really good markets. I'd say a lot of it comes from larger markets, but there are some market gardeners there as well. So we've been going there, but we really do need to set up the greens. So mainly Bianca's said lettuce or leafy salad greens, chard. She's not a huge fan of the Warrigal greens.
No,
Can't blame her.
not really.
I don't mind them, but chard, leafy greens, and
the most important one,
Asian greens. What?
peas.
She likes her snap peas, her sugar snap peas.
Oh yes, and I haven't had them in years.
No, I think we might have missed it because things are
Yeah,
going to warm
I
up
know.
soon now, but
It's
we'll see how we go.
Next year.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we can have a crack and see how we go. But yeah, that's the timetable at the moment, just to get them going, and we can set them up without wallaby proofing too, really, because they're going to be off the ground. I do have some bricks to put them on. I was going to look at welding up some stands, but I don't have a lot of scrap metal around at the moment. We basically need to work out some sort of stands for them, because that's one problem we have had. We've set stuff up on the ground here and the ants build nests under them and they start sinking.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
You leave every pumpkin you pick up, there's ants underneath it.
And they sink into the ground. So I've noticed that with we had the fire pit out on the lawn and it was there for about a month. It was the middle of summer. We didn't want to do a fire. Actually sunk probably around about 10 centimeters, 4 inches into the ground because the ants gnawing out underneath it.
Yeah, it's still a massive divot.
Yeah, so we've got to work out some way of that's why we were thinking if we have a cracker dust base on the ground first, and then or the other thought I had is we need to thin some trees out, rent a tree mulcher, because they're all under that diameter. Get a tree mulcher and just do a massive tree mulch base.
Or we could make a puppy log cabin.
A puppy log cabin. She wants to make a log cabin for Jack out of the trees out the front. Moon gates, puppy log cabins. I don't know.
Weird things. I like weird things.
Next, she'll be putting skulls over the door for Jack.
Yep.
Anyway.
There we go.
We're moving on, yes.
Craftley grew cashews, coffee, cocoa, vanilla, And all the typical tropical fruits, mango, banana, custard, chilies. Just for ourselves now, I want to do wicking beds for colder climate veg.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Janice was up north. Yeah. I remember, I think that you said you were up in the NT at one point. Hope you don't mind me using your name either, sorry. Yeah.
How about sweet potatoes?
Oh, sweet potatoes for sure. Yeah, we're doing macas, we're doing mangoes, macas, mangoes, lychees. Kira said pomegranates. She can grow her own pomegranates. We'll be doing the citrus, lemon, limes, mandarins. And I like Dave from Veneto Gardens, his idea of doing multi-species planting in one hole rather than doing the fruit salad style trees. So we'll try that. What else? Fish, of course, fish. Goats, cows, pigs, maybe pigs, we'll see.
Oh, maybe use palm fronds under the pumpkins. That's an idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was Andrew.
Yep. Is there one thing
Works
you
has got a good one.
Yes.
If there is one thing that you could easily have started learning more about and researching earlier, what would it be and what would you tell past you?
About growing food? It would have been buy that acreage in Fernvale when it was only $8,000 back in 1988 instead of drinking all your pay away. And now it would have been worth well over $1 million. And yeah, then I could have sold that and bought this, but I would never have met Bianca.
No.
But yeah, definitely I would have tried to wake up to my senses a lot earlier. But farming wise and food growing wise, I think I would have actually, I don't know. I don't know, to tell you the truth. Because I think our natural progression was really good the way we learnt. We learnt in the ground first at Ebervale and container growing with the
We did containers
wet
before
pots.
that when we lived at Chapel Hill.
Yeah,
It
wet
was all
pots.
container.
We were doing a subterranean. They're basically pressurized oyas. So they're a little terracotta, partially vitrified clay with irrigation plumbing going into them. Under pressure, they exude water. Then the roots. I don't know why I'm telling you this because someone's going to ask where you can buy them and you can't. And then the roots surround the bulb and self-regulate the water so that the water's just not being wasted. Absolutely awesome. Peter
We still have
Wakeling.
them in the shed.
I've got sets of them. I think the rubber seal's gone on them and I need to replace them. Pete, unfortunately, he's retired out Tara. He's out Tara way. But they were absolutely awesome idea. They came out when the drought was on. Loads of people. I was making them for Peter, slip casting them. But anyway, we're sort of digressing here.
There's other ways to do it. Like
yeah,
I've seen people with terracotta pots.
Yeah, you can do your DIY ones, yeah, or just use oyas. But yeah, so we went from there, container growing, then in the ground, and then the drought, because we couldn't water, the water restrictions hit, and then we did wicking beds, so we could go out and water once a week.
Where
but
did
our
we first see that?
wicking beds, Colin Campbell
That
through
was
Simple
it.
Savings, when I was in the Simple Savings Frugal Living, I was doing their garden blog for them.
That's right.
Yeah, so someone posted a link to Colin Austin. I think I said Campbell. He's the Gardening Australian guy.
Gardening Australia.
Yeah, Colin Austin wicking beds. So it's basically all the IBC wicking beds. Apparently, Self-Sufficient Me's made them famous using IBCs. Got a playlist with them. Yeah, there's subterranean irrigation. That's, to me, that just made sense, a natural progression from there. And then through Simple Savings again, I found the Aquaponics guy coming out the back, throwing his line in, getting a barra, picking the veg. So I think I pretty much well learnt it in a proper progression. I just wish I'd started earlier. I just wish I'd started doing it when I was in my early 20s rather than late 20s, early 30s. That's pretty much well.
I think a confidence thing too, because
yeah,
you were looking at the aquaponics for ever.
About 5 years I was looking at aquaponics. If I'd
just pulled the trigger.
If I'd pulled the trigger at the start, yeah, I would have been, yeah, a lot further along now. But I'm not one of these people who espouse aquaponics for commercial use. There's Joe Pate, those guys, Ryan Chatterson, those guys are doing it on the commercial level. I know there's other mobs that have commercialized it as well and tried to take ownership of the name and the system and but I'm all in it for growing food for yourself. As I was saying about my brother before, like you need to take responsibility for growing your own food. You can't say you don't have the ability to do it. Anyone can do it on any size lot. I've met people on here who grow absolutely phenomenal hydroponic veg for themselves and then wanted to get into aquaponics on small verandas, on small decks, living in buildings. I forget her name. There was a woman I was chatting to. She sent me some Indian shirts. I think she's in New Delhi
Oh, that
in
lady.
India, and she was doing her best to grow. She's a doctor. I think she's a doctor, but she was doing her best to grow on her balcony in New Delhi, and she does a lot more on fish. I think she does a lot more aquarium content now. But there's no excuse not to grow at least a little bit of food for yourself, even if it's just your own herbs. So yeah, I wish I'd started being more responsible for my food to begin with and not growing other ornamental bush tomatoes when I first started decades ago, which I no longer do. But yeah. Anyway, I like to ramble on. I've heard of Philip DeFranco. I used to watch him all the time, and then I stopped watching stuff about the news because everyone is polarized and has their own political takes, and I just watch a little bit from everywhere now.
Well, you learn more then.
You learn more that way. I used to watch him religiously every day, and then there's other people, Dave Rubin, because I like stuff from, if you're in America, there's left and right. I like stuff from both sides. Everyone's got valid ideas, but I just don't do politics really. Yeah.
Andrew says, best thing I did for my farm was get green garden waste by the truckload, compost it and cover it, and free wood chip. Now covered in bananas, pumpkin, cassava, low arsenic variety.
Oh, Echo was talking about cut throughs. Yeah, sorry. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we have talked about some sort of organics coverage
Sorry. What?
for the soil.
Oh, the wood chip for the yeah, rather than cracker dust. Is that what we're talking about? Sorry, I just got sidetracked.
Regen.
Oh, regen farming. Hang on. Where are we talking about, Bianca?
Ah, you're distracted, Andrew.
Oh, bird. Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew.
Okay. Best thing I ever did for my farm was a green garden waste by the truckload, compost it and cover it free wood chip. Now covered in bananas. Yeah, our problem is we've got 45 acres or 40-ish acres down the front. We want to regen, but more for that stuff down there, we want to do it for cattle fodder because the 35 to 40, we keep saying 40, it's between 30 and 40 acres.
Yeah.
Roughly. We should actually plot it out on Google Earth and work out. But we want to regen it for cattle, ruminant forage, goats and cattle.
But the ground is really
Yeah,
bad.
but with just speaking to Angus this morning, between the house and the dams, what we've done to improve that soil just by mowing it is unbelievable
Amazing,
because it was
yeah.
in the same condition as the ground on the other side of the dam. Bianca and I walked that a while back, and it is very bare and sparse, but so was the ground up here before we started mowing it. Basically mimicking cow minus the gastrointestinal tract,
Yep.
Cutting the organic matter, letting it sit. It's creating thatch. It's slowing the water down. It's you dig it now because that's where we've dug in some scraps down there. The shovel just goes through. It's holding moisture, and all the bare patches are disappearing. It's controlling the rat tail grass because it's continually being taken back. The other grasses there are growing around it and smothering it out because we had some really thick patches that you're seeing sparse plants now.
Not only that, but when you mow it, it spreads the seeds for the first few times you mow it.
Oh yeah, it spreads seeds, but it also spreads the seeds of the other grasses as well because all the other grasses are seeding. So yeah, it's a
I think it
win-lose situation.
controls the legume too, which I have noticed in the back
the
paddock where you did mow that path for Mum to walk.
wing cassia, yeah.
It's smaller, but where it's been allowed to get bigger, it's actually prevented anything else from growing.
The wing
underneath
cassia
it.
is
And
it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
I think that's going to be an issue plant
That's why
we'll
we
have
need
to
to
keep
slash.
slashing.
Yeah.
When you went to snip up the front on the drive-in last night, I saw it was actually getting greener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Angus just said, if you can't hear him, driving in last night, he noticed it was greener where a whipper snipped up the front. So yeah, it's just taking that down and giving it a nice flush.
But I think it's harder for us to get that sort of green waste, but we've got a lot of dying trees out the back. So I think culture might be an option at some point too, or at least give it a crack. We got enough timber.
Oh, in the gardens. Yeah, but it depends on your climate. Hugelculture work. Oh, see, I've had this discussion and argument with people. So hugelculture works better in a more temperate climate. Will work in a subtropical like ours, but you'll get better results out of a more temperate climate. So I've been told. And a proper hugelculture with a mound as a row, not just some timber in the bottom of a bed. That's good to fill a bed for soil.
Well, when we did the beds, we had raised garden beds and we put a foot deep of timber, mulch timber on top, and the soil was
amazing. Doing it that way was. Joe, you joking me, mate? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. No, they're from Australia. They're from the mid-north coast, New South Wales, sort of up towards where we are here. They're Australian natives, but I was speaking to Nigel, sorry to sidetrack there, talking about hugelculture, we'll go back. That just blew me away. The Hawaiians have grown, Nigel was telling me the Hawaiians have grown a specific variety through the years that is actually a really good producer, and he's recommended that we get that one. It's a bigger nut or something, so he's going to help me with that selection. We're going to work out what to grow.
Have them here?
Yeah, we can have them here. They're just a macadamia nut.
Oh no, I'm just thinking,
they're native to Australia, so they're a native Australian plant. They've just been developed somewhere else. That's all.
That's what they're growing off the road.
Oh no, I'm thinking biosecurity garbage.
Oh no, they bring in sterilized nuts and then they
okay, thank you. That's what I mean. Are they here, or do you have to get them overseas?
No, they bring them over. They put them in the microwave. They make them sterile.
God.
Growing up the road.
Yeah, we got Maccas everywhere up the road. Yeah. So
people almost
there was
violence on YouTube.
There's all around us. There's macadamias. If you look from space, or around our area, there's massive plantations of macadamias. They're still bulldozing mangoes to grow macadamias. They're removing sugarcane fields to grow macadamias. There was a boom a couple of years back and everyone went crazy. South Africans have taken over and grown massive amounts up. Where did we look at that property? Bucka?
Yeah.
Bucka, they're just hundreds of acres of macadamia. It's just insane. The problem is the price has fallen out of the market because China has apparently planted thousands of acres over in Africa. And just with the amount of trees coming online, the price of macas is falling.
But
none on the property.
That massive farm on the way to Bundaberg that have just fenced their entire property.
Yeah.
And it's just all macadamia that they've planted now, and you just go.
Joe, the fact that I don't care about the amount, just the fact that you thought to do it, mate. That just blew me away. That's cool. That's all good. That's cool. Yeah. So nothing wrong with a few ornamental tomatoes amongst the veggies. Yes. No. I've spoken to other Australian YouTubers, and as soon as it's something that we can do, it will be something I do in aquaponics, and I'll be picking Steve Dredd's brains because he's from Ponics. Potent is in marijuana. He grows medicinal over in the States.
You ended up doing the interview with him,
didn't you? I've done a hangout with Steve. That's on his channel and our channel. That will be something we do. We have family members who are on medicinal marijuana in Australia, and it has worked miracles for them. It's definitely something we want to get into. The hugelculture. When we had a trial turmeric bed down behind the chicken. There's videos on the channel. I don't know where they are. On the wicking beds, and we had about 20 centimeters worth of mulched up spring cut, so it was nutrient dense Chinese elm, and I put that on the top, and it just the soil throughout the whole bed, the whole makeup of it changed, just spongy, held water, broke apart, wasn't clay-like at all. It was absolutely
It was-
phenomenal.
It went black.
So that's more like the back to Eden
Just
grow
really-
method, because
Yeah.
from memory, I did a nitrogen-rich base underneath it. I think I did the green tops and then finished off
It was wicking
with
as
the
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the green leafy tops, so nitrogen rich, and then I did the carbon stem on top or something like that. I did the layers, and it was phenomenal. So
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
worms the soil went black and the worms went crazy.
absolutely bonkers. Vetiver is a hardy. Yeah, no, we're looking at vetiver just back up to Andrew, sorry, Bradford. Vetiver, we're looking at doing as a bank control. There's
And a swale, a temporary swale.
temporary
style.
swale. Yeah, there's a mob vetiver mob on the way down to Brisbane, and it's just one of those things that hasn't lined up for me to go in and actually order some from them and pick them up. But create a bit of a vetiver swale above. He's got his ball. He's happy. Above where we've got some bad bank erosion,
Oh.
and also too apparently the vetiver root is very sought after as well. So
Is
it's
it?
something else to, yeah, there's a vetiver group on, thank you, Hamish from Naughty Goat Farm. He put us on to those guys on Facebook, and they got some interesting information on there. So, lost my fish.
Craig's got an issue. Yeah.
Just lost my fish in IBC garden. They got white slime covering their whole bodies. And all.
Eyes, gills, and all.
Was that, they will go slimy if they've been left in the water after they perish. Yeah, it's a bit hard to know without seeing. If there's a lot of white dots, it could be an ick. It could be that they just died and they were sitting there for a while, and then the mucus lining just went milky white. Yeah, it depends on how long, pardon me, they were dead. Sorry, Craig. Yeah, but the white dots is generally an ick. We have had other bacterial infections in ours, but yeah, it's a bit hard to say. Sorry. If you've had a massive temperature change, that can, and depending on the fish as well, it's a bit hard to know. But if you've got like a jade perch, silver perch, or even a barra, and your temperature has just fallen real quick, that could be an issue. Is Craig in Australia? That's the other thing. Yeah, so that can be an issue.
If you want to whack some more comments in, you can.
Yeah, just
Have a
quickly, because we're running up to an
Yeah.
hour and a half, so we've got to probably knock it off in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Gumby, isn't that the? Oh no, that's Gimpy. I'm thinking of
Oh no, hell no.
Gimpy. I thought they were having a lend of us.
No. Yes, I do know the Gumby. It's a Australian native eucalyptus used for like colds and flus and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that I know some people who grow it in Mullaney.
Yep.
I haven't really looked at growing it here, but
Macas in Mexico are expensive. Yeah. All the Hawaii, yeah. Hey Darren, how's it going, mate? We're just about to say goodbye, Darren. We'll come down and visit. Or you can come up this time. Yeah, I know the Macas here, we can get them locally. I think it's sorry. To buy them on the side of the road from a fruit and veg store, you're looking about $10 a kilo, and from the markets, about $10 a kilo. That's for the whole nut, not the crack nut. And I think the crack nut is going for about $30 a kilo.
Alex says, do you still use wicking beds?
I will be using.
There's still some down in Ipswich.
No, we've got wicking barrels over there at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got a blueberry wicking barrel, a ginger wicking barrel. Yeah, over there at the moment. I'm going to be doing aquaponic fueled. Yeah, Victoria. Okay, thanks, Craig. Aquaponic. So basically, it's not dual root zone. It's basically an aquaponic fueled wicking bed system. So Larry Athy, I don't know what his channel name is at the moment, but he has a recirculating wicking bed system. I don't think he ever ended up hooking it onto aquaponics, even though he has some in the same greenhouse. But I want to do the same lines as that. I want a slightly different reservoir design than his, so we can get the no dead spots in the water circulating, something I want to work on. But yeah, definitely will be wicking beds as well as sand beds in the new system. I was hoping to go and tour a guy's sand bed system, but he turned out to be
Not
very
nice.
nice. So anyway,
can you use worm casting as a small nutrient booster? in
yes,
the
you can. You
aquaponic
certainly
system?
can. You can actually grow your worms in the aquaponic system, which is what we did.
Yes.
You just put the red wrigglers in and they smash through any solid waste that you get in there. They look after dead roots. They look after any organic matter that's fallen from the top. Yes, I have seen it. Angus commented. I've seen people actually put their compost small amounts. Don't just go out and put in garbage bags worth. Small amount of compost just under the media in their beds, or they've made those like little PVC tube feeder tubes, like some people do for their soil garden, and just put like a couple of banana skins in there or some apple peelings or something like that, enough for the worms to smash through. Banana skins apparently for potassium, but I read somewhere a paper that said they're not really that high in potassium, the skins.
You just if you put anything in, you just keep monitoring.
Yeah, you don't
water
let it
until
build up and go anaerobic because that'll cause other problems. But yeah, just a few scraps underneath the top layer, as long as there's enough compost worms in there to feed on them.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times, like in our earlier system, but later on I changed the beds around so much I lost the compost worms to a point. Oh, we have a visitor.
Who's that?
That is our next door neighbor. He's got a load of hay.
Oh, okay. Truck looked weird.
Truck look weird? It's because it's got hay. It's like peak hour here. There's a truck.
Yeah.
What we were saying, yeah, in our first systems, you could pull out a handful of clay from down deep and they'd be full of compost worms. But the later systems, yeah, but they are really good to have in there. Yeah. Wicking beds, do your worm castings? Yes, Darren. G'day, hope all glad you're enjoying challenges of farming. Yes, we certainly are, mate. And hope the hunt went well. And I hope you had a ball down in Tassie, mate. Craig.
Got no beforehand, lived for a week or so, no dots, Murray cod, silver perch, he's in Victoria.
Victoria. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. The only thing I can think of is maybe there was the conditions just changed suddenly. Because that's generally the only other thing from like a mass fish death where it all happens at once is I have spoken to someone where the neighbors had termite control done the day beforehand. And apparently they sprayed up the fence post, which was right on the other side of the aquaponics system, and they lost everything. I think that they just ended up, they never got back to me, so I dare say they may have thrown everything. They were concerned about the pesticide staying in the media itself as well and not being able to wash it out. And they'd spent thousands on clay and they were very distraught. So they had that happen. Sudden shift in temperature can do it if you have a cold snap come through. That can pretty much will do it. I don't know about Murray cod, but I know the silvers it's behind the shed.
Yeah.
Jack, come.
Yeah, our silvers were susceptible to a sudden drop in temperature, like we're talking 4 or 5 degree overnight. So yeah, that could be it.
I was wondering a while back.
Hey Nevin, how's it going? Yeah, so that's about all I could suggest. Sorry, Craig. Angus, we should ban that guy.
Just don't answer the question. You can tell him when he gets back.
Can you put any fish in aquaponics garden? And if you can, do you need to change the way it is set? What do you mean? Can you put any fish?
It doesn't matter what fish. Can you put salt water fish?
No,
You can't do salt
you
water.
can't put saltwater fish in there unless they're barramundi, because barramundi are technically saltwater fish.
Have they?
Well, yeah, they start off in the river system as males, and then they go out to the ocean,
Go out
become
to the ocean,
females, and
And then
then
come back and breed.
they come back and breed. Yeah. So yes, you can put barramundi in there. I know of someone who caught brim at Paul Vanderwerf. For you Aussies into aquaponics, Paul Vanderwerf caught brim, and he acclimatized them to fresh water, and then someone turned off the water pump and he lost them. He just got them feeding on pellets too.
Bugger.
So you can acclimatize saltwater fish, certain saltwater fish to freshwater, but for the trouble, you're better off calling Bruce the perch man and getting some fish off him, and then yeah,
So do you have to change the like temperature and type of stuff you put in the water for them?
You haven't watched enough of my videos.
No,
He's just
I haven't
ask
been
if
watching it
he
for a
just
few
ask
months.
if you have to monitor temperature and that.
No,
and
no,
all
no,
that.
like different for
Oh, different fish, yeah,
fish.
different, yeah. You have to. So, like if down south, they run better with things like where it's cooler. South, it's cooler here in Australia, not hotter. You run cooler, more temperate, loving fish like Murray cod. Except cod can take a bit of heat. Silver perch, trout, and things like that. Redfin, where it's legal, it's not legal in every state. You can run them in cooler. Whereas up here, because we get hotter, we can't run trout because they'd end up as soup. But we can run things like barramundi and
As long as
gay
you have
perch.
heaters in winter.
Yeah, if you have heaters in winter, depending on where you are, you can run barramundi. I do know people who did a course, were told they could run barramundi in Brisbane, and then they all died when things got cold because barramundi don't like cold water. Or
Yeah.
Asian sea bass, sorry. So yeah.
Old laundry sink cabinets make great worm farms. Yeah, I was just thinking maybe.
How's it going, Rockpole Off-Grid Homestead? They have a fantastic YouTube, Facebook group for Aussie Offstead, Aussie homesteaders. So how's it going, folks? They're over in Western Australia, and they also have a YouTube channel. And there's a few other people associated with that group who have YouTube channels. And I'm sorry, I can't think of the name. Put it in the chat off the top of the head if you want people to join. But yeah, there's a whole heap of Aussie YouTubers over there. Old laundry sink cabinets, great to make. Yeah, old laundry sinks. We've got
several.
We've got more than several. Got bathtubs that I want to turn into worm farms again. Freshwater stingrays for Tim had freshwater stingrays. The chap who's coming up, and I got all the aquaponic system from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's, pardon me, absolutely awesome.
I have a meaty gift for you.
He has a meaty gift. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes. He got some venison.
Ah,
Yeah, so how do they go for growing? I'm really interested, Tim. Now we're going to run over. How did they go plant-wise? Did you have them hooked up for nutrients for plants, or from memory it was just aquariums? But yeah. Walking catfish, don't remember the scientific name, but I understand they're easily grown in big water tanks. They also breed directly from the air. Could they be good in aquaponics? I suppose they might be able to. I'm not familiar with them, sorry, Joe. Walking catfish.
leave Google, isn't it?
If you could look that up, thank you, Jamie. Thank you. I got slapped.
And
Been Rogan.
you distracted me and I wrote catch fish.
Okay. They possibly could. If they're freshwater, they possibly could. It depends, I suppose, how they adapt to a tank culture.
Native to Southeast Asia.
We couldn't grow them because they'd be invasive here.
Well, and they wiggle it across.
Oh,
egg.
Good time. Bum nut. Bum nut for the
That's
Americans.
good.
This is a bum nut.
Bum nut.
They
That's
don't grow on trees.
That's a chook chook too.
Chook chook.
It's dark and bigger.
Because it keeps on going in.
Cool.
Joe, you're talking about the ones from China? Yeah, so Asian. Yeah. Jack, please, buddy, you're going to bump the table. So yeah, I don't know, mate. They may be doable. It depends on the being able to survive in a tank culture.
They normally live in slow moving and often stagnant waters in ponds, swamps, streams, and rivers. So they might be a bit funny about although how did the other catfish go in aquaponics with aerated moving water?
Oh, the Tandanis love it. Tandanis are fine. Even the Brisbane river catfish, I've seen people grow them in. It just depends on their environment, I suppose, what they're accustomed to. I've heard someone, who was it? I think it was Brazil. Yeah, Portuguese. I speak Portuguese. Brazil. They were doing snakehead. Like, yeah. I've seen snakehead on river monsters, and they're like,
terrifying.
They're insane. So yeah, imagine. I suppose they only keep them small there. Oh, snakehead are also invasive in Florida and in the US, aren't they now? Yeah.
Someone proposed growing seaweed and plants that grow in salt marshes in an aquaponic
Yeah.
system that uses marine fish.
Yeah, no, that's I've seen articles on that. I don't know if it was Aquaponics Anonymous or one of the aquaponics groups on Facebook, and I'm fairly sure I saw it. We were talking about this earlier. There's an aquaculture newsletter that I subscribe to. I can't think of the name of it for the time being, but they were talking about that. But I thought they were in like working out which seaweed at that point in time or kelp. It was ages ago. They're doing a lot on the seaweed aquaponics. Where are
Being
we? Where are
harassed.
we?
What do you
Justified
want?
jester. Fish live in both fresh and salt water. Yeah. There are a few that do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not very-
invaded Florida a few years ago. The snakehead,
Yeah.
the local government encouraged people to fish them because apparently they're delicious. Oh,
Is that a butchie?
No, it's a little tiny.
Oh,
one
Willy
with a satellite.
Wagtail pooping on this. Yeah.
oh,
Pooping on the satellite.
yes. You go and look at the satellite, and there's this perfect line across the top.
Willy
of
Wagtail.
Willy Wagtail poo.
Had them in 4 IBC grow beds, had set up in my shed under lights. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Tim,
Ponds for
the
the
freshwater.
was 5,000 litres, fed approximately 1.5 kilos of food daily.
Ooh,
That's high food.
that's a lot.
Mhm.
I wish I got a video of that, Tim. That would have been awesome.
Did
Did you-
require a moving bed filter, also 250 litres
There's
of
a big
K1
one,
media.
yeah.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah, they're called bum nuts. Where are we? Sorry, I'm getting distracted now. Yeah, oh, okay, landline. Oh, they're
the seaweed
geo-locked.
aquaponics.
Landline's geo-locked.
They were
I've got-
growing it for cattle supplements.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I know it stops cattle farts. Yeah,
Yeah.
it reduces the methane. Yeah, actually. I remember seeing that section. I didn't know about the aquaponics. There's we get a really good well, it was really good. Like when I used to watch it when it was countrywide as a kid growing up on the farm. But they are geo-locked to Australia. It's ABC Australia, which is Australian Broadcasting Commission, so we can't share links from it, which is a real pain in the bum. I think they do have a YouTube channel though, but yeah. If I find that, I will put it up. Educationally looking out over what YouTube has had for 10 to 20 years, including so much usable. Yep. YouTube has got a wealth of information on it, but I have noticed that I did a YouTube course. Well, it's not a course, it's they pay a local production house to put on an education thing. I've done a couple now, and yeah, it's all about getting eyes on screen and sensationalizing. And I watched a couple of homesteading videos from the States, and I'm not putting anything on them, but it's like I was saying to Angus this morning, YouTube was the alternative to TV. And I'm noticing that a lot of the shows or the channels we're watching, except for Pete, I like Pete.
Hey,
Pete just walks around and talks about the cows, come on cows, and talks about different aspects of his operation. That to me is YouTube, not creating a narrative and a storyline and story arc within the show. You're basically making a mini TV documentary. I might as well be what's his name? Clarkson's Farm. So but yeah, no, I need to fix up I really like the educational side of YouTube. Even if you watch this stuff up 100 times, there's 100 times you've learned what not to do. So
I feel like people will watch it if you do a Clarkson's farm.
you reckon people will watch it if I do a Clarkson's Farm?
Yeah.
oh, only if you get that remote controlled.
Oh, remote control brush hog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, I want one of them.
I'd sit on it as I was going.
It's probably costs the price of the farm.
Yeah.
But
So here on YouTube, the Oscars sold. Tropical fish hobbyists have become invasive in Florida, and the snakehead, they're really yummy. Yeah. We've got well, that's the tilapia are wild here, which I have a feeling we have in our dams, which we'll find out this week. Well, there's a few other. There's koi. They catch koi in
Oh,
Somerset Dam and Wivenhoe
That's-
Dam. They've
and inland's really quite bad for that too, the carp.
Yeah, European carp. I know people who ran where it was legal. They ran European carp in aquaponics because I have vegetarians in New South Wales. So they ran the carp. It's
They
okay
have
for me
the-
to share English and Esperanto since you means. Oh, okay. Just started my cuts on the first IBC build today. Thanks for not a problem,
Oh,
Metro.
cool.
If you need any pointers, there is the playlist we have, or if you want to buy the guide. Pointers in there as well if you get stuck. Yep, exactly. Just want to see what real life and learning stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we came to YouTube and why we liked YouTube. A lot of the guys, original guys we followed, have just gone. Life in Thailand was a good one. Oh, what are you whinging for, Jackie boy?
Mummy is ignoring me.
Oh,
That's why I'm here.
that's why you're here. Okay.
What do you want?
Yeah, there's loads of guys. MHP Gardner, he was good for hydroponics. There's a few still good ones going. I just don't get to watch much YouTube anymore. Certain ABC gardening show has a YouTube channel. I just watch their forage and permaculture stuff. Yep. Yeah, I had a visit from ABC gardening producer once, and then there was IBC wicking beds on about a month later. It was funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you did have that woman come around the photo of you and the chicken we were laughing about.
Oh yeah, that was from the local newspaper. Yeah.
I thought she was ABC.
No, shit, that was a local news. No, it was it was an ABC producer for Gardening Australia, and they saw
But it
the
was for
they
the
saw the
magazine or
IBC wicking
something.
beds online, and then they came around,
Yeah.
and then they did the one with the scoria in the base, the expensive wicking garden that was, yeah, a bit over the top and overkill. Anyway, okay, U and B happen to fit well as a truth example. Thank you very much. She keeps me honest. She kicks me up the bum regularly. Yeah, Self-Sufficient Me has a fun channel. He's got a good channel. Unfortunately, I don't watch a lot of gardening YouTube anymore. Sort of got distracted with farming, more the farming, homesteading stuff. Yeah, so but he's got some like backyard grows and stuff like that. He's absolutely awesome for that. And I like his take on the food movement as well, about just get out there and grow something, grow anything, grow your own green onions from offcuts from the supermarket in a jar of water. Like, yeah. And he's a nice bloke too. I've met him. He's a nice bloke. Who chose another good Australian one if you're into hydroponic gardening? Hammered MHP was great. Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Yep. Yeah, so actually that's a good sign off. We should probably go, since we're only going to be on for an hour because we've got stuff to do before Bianca goes tomorrow for work.
And I have to sew Kira's pants.
You have to sew her pants. I'm trapped here for a whole 5 days with Angus. Oh, do you want to say hello? Do you want to come on and say hello? You can if you want. You don't have to. Well, turn the mic away. It's all right.
Smashing stuff.
Say hello, Angus. This is Angus.
Hello.
This is he told me yesterday that he's my favorite nephew. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I don't have favorites. Except for wives. I have a favorite wife. She's better than the others. But anyway.
He's talking about the chickens.
Don't get weird on me now. Anyway, we will leave it there. Do hope you've all had an awesome hangout, folks. Oh, hang on, we'll just quickly read. Yet to see opportunity where I can share any of these hopeful ideas.
Oh yeah, I watched the mudlarkers as well.
Yeah, have a crack. Just post videos. It's good. It's all good. Western Mexico really got their water level down thanks to them.
Monsoons, it's refilling.
Cool. Great stream for a lazy Sunday. I watch you guys, an Alaskan couple and heaps of mudlarkers. Yeah, B loves the mudlarking.
There's some good.
Can I write your letters, please? You can. There is on our channel, we have on our homepage. I'm pretty sure, actually, I'll update it today. I've got the old PO box on there, I think, but I'll update it to the new one. I get mail at the old PO box anyway. I would say email me, but I've been hit up with a whole heap of emails in bursts. And since I've said that I do consultations, people are emailing me asking for free consultations, which I can't unfortunately do. I need to pay bills. If you want help with your aquaponics system and a one-on-one, or me come visit you if you're local, that's fine. I'd appreciate. Yeah, the guinea fowls are back. He hasn't seen them since he's been here.
Oh, okay. There's
It
totally
help
one of
pay
them.
help pays the bills if you want to do a consultation, that's fine. But if you just want to say good day and pen pal type of stuff, the PO box is the best way to do it.
Oh, he enjoys calligraphy and would like to
Oh,
take the
cool.
time to,
Okay.
yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, PO Box 258 Childers 4660 Queensland,
Queensland,
Australia,
Australia.
Southern Hemisphere, Earth. Yeah,
Are you sure? Milky Way.
I think we're living in simulation, but it should find us.
The
Anyway,
envelope might get really long.
it might.
They're making a line to the chickens.
Yeah, no, they're going over for a chicken feed. Should we show? Actually, we'll show you guys the progression. It's what? Do you want to just grab a coffee cup? Where are they? Are they gonna? Oh, they're just breaching the car at the moment. I don't know if you guys. It's not going to focus on them. But there's a line of guinea fowl walking over.
Should I open the chicken pen?
It's all good.
No,
It's all
they-
good. Oh no, you can see them now. They're coming across. There's not millions. There's 21.
21 of them.
A couple, two. We got two lavenders because people ask. We got two lavenders, about 8 or 9 pied, and the rest are the normal guinea fowl.
There's 19. You're missing.
Actually, Joe, you're true. That's right. That's correct.
What's that?
Angus, thinking his namesake is from AC/DC. From memory, it is, isn't it? Is it
Angus Young.
Angus Young from AC/DC?
Yes, but that's not Lyle's name there.
Oh, it isn't.
No.
Oh, why were you named Angus?
Because it wasn't the one that was yelled at a food stall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was wrong. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's why we associate.
Cool. Enhance. Yes, enhance. Anyway, we will leave it there. Thank you very much, folks. Get your mug in there, you gorgeous woman. And we will say goodbye. Cheers, folks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know. It's just asking to verify it's
You
me.
have to verify to leave.
I have to verify.
How weird.
I don't know. I just now I've got Hickok 45 playing. Now just why won't this end? I'm in a loop.
What's it doing?
I can't, it won't let me end the stream. Are you joking me, YouTube? Oh my,
We are still live.
I'm not.
Maybe we just ask everybody in YouTube when to hang up instead.
Yes, YouTube. If YouTube could hang up, that would be really nice. Normally it's got the 2-factor thing and it asks me to hang up from there.
Boom, I'll log off.
I can't. It won't let me.
Fresh.
Refresh. I wonder. Oh, hang on. If I disappear, refresh didn't work.
Click on Instagram.
End screen. I think we're going.
Okay,
Bye,
well-
folks. Bye. I need to verify it's me again.
How?
I don't know what is going on.